This morning in Your Money, millennials may have struggled in the recession of 2008, but things are looking up. And a new Money Under 35 national survey shows an improved financial picture for young adults and even shines a spotlight on the benefits of finishing college. With us now to explain what this good news means for all those millennials out there and their families is Sarah Dusich, an expert on higher education financing and the Senior Vice President for Public Policy for Navient. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Michaela.
So happy to chat with you today. I know there are a lot of millennials out there who are kind of nervous about their finances. So what were some of the highlights from this recent survey?
Well, this is the second annual report that Navient has done with Ipsos, a global research firm. And the good news is that we are seeing an improved financial picture among young adults, millennials 22 to 35. Unfortunately, we don't see it across all education levels. Overwhelmingly, the college graduates are feeling the improved financial picture. Those who went to college and didn't finish are reporting to us the lowest level of financial health, lower than those who didn't even try college. And so I think what we really see here in this research is the importance of going to college, but finishing and getting that degree.
Well, especially too because college is extremely expensive at this point. So is it really worth it?
Well, we asked that very question of the young adults, and those who got a bachelor's degree or higher, 85% of them said absolutely yes. College is a worthwhile investment. However, it's only if you finish that degree. Those who didn't complete their degree, they're far less likely to report that as a worthwhile investment, and it shows up in their financial health. They have the lower median income, they have lower levels of employment, and they are far less likely to own a home or to have a lot of those other financial milestones.
Are you noticing any difference too, even between genders, the male to female?
You know, if you had asked me when I was a young adult whether I thought there would still be a gender gap when my daughters were entering the workforce, I would have said no. But what we see in this research is a huge difference in income between young men and young women. Young women are making on average $30,000 less. Now, some of that is explained by the differences in fields that they go into. Women are far less likely to go into the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, those STEM fields which tend to pay quite a bit more. But even if we narrow it down to just those fields, for young women and young men that are in the STEM fields, there's still a gap, a smaller gap, 94 cents on the dollar, but still a gap. So it's not surprising when we ask the young women in the survey if they're satisfied with their current income. Young men are twice as likely to report that they are satisfied with their current income than young women.
Good to know. And then quickly before we let you go, is this generation of millennials saving enough for their future?
Well, again, good news, bad news in this area as well. We see that 93% of young adults are telling us that they are saving for some type of goal, and that's good. Most of them are saving for some type of short-term goal, emergency, vacation, and not so much for the long-term goals. In fact, only 3 out of 10 are saving for retirement, and we don't see that propensity to save for retirement increasing that much as they move from their late 20s into their early 30s. So we'd like to see more improvement there. I think young adults should be really looking at that.
Well, I think a lot of young adults too, they might move back in with their parents to save some of that money.
Well, you know, I think we hear that narrative a lot about young adults living in their parents' basement. But the fact is that they got their college degree. There are very few that are living in their parents' basement. In fact, what we see in this research is really the story of two millennials, those who got their college degree and those that did not. And the real crisis I think that we see here is those who went to college and borrowed to go to college and didn't finish are really struggling. 66% of them tell us that they're having trouble paying their bills. So that's what really our focus should be, is how do we get those young adults over the finish line to get that college degree and make sure they get the payoff from their investment.
Yeah, good lesson in life too, starting something and finishing it. Sarah, thank you so much. If you'd like to read more on that Money Under 35 survey, head on over to roadshow.com.